प्रभुः न कर्मफलसंयोगं प्रवर्तते नादत्ते कस्यचित् पापं न चैव सुकृतं विभुः अज्ञानेनावृतं ज्ञानं तेन मुह्यन्ति जन्तवः ज्ञानेन तु तज्ज्ञानं येषां नाशितमात्मनः तेषामादित्यवज्ञानं प्रकाशयति तत्परं तद्बुद्धयस्तदात्मानः तन्निष्ठास्तत्परायणाः गच्छन्त्यपुनरावृत्तिं ज्ञाननिर्धूतकल्मषाः विद्याविनयसम्पन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव श्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः इहैव तैर्जितः सर्गो येषां साम्ये स्थितं मनः निर्दोषं हि समं ब्रह्म तस्माद् ब्रह्मणि ते स्थिताः न प्रहृष्येत् प्रियं प्राप्य नोद्विजेत् प्राप्य चाप्रियं स्थिरबुद्धिरसम्मूढो ब्रह्मविद् ब्रह्मणि स्थितः बाह्यस्पर्शेष्वसक्तात्मा विन्दत्यात्मनि यत्सुखं स ब्रह्मयोगयुक्तात्मा सुखमक्षयमश्नुते ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगाः दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न तेषु रमते बुधः शक्नोति हैव यः सोढुं प्राक्शरीरविमोक्षणात् क्रोधोद्भवं वेगं स युक्तः स सुखी नरः योऽन्तः सुखोऽन्तरारामः तथान्तर्ज्योतिरेव यः स योगी ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ब्रह्मभूतोऽधिगच्छति लभन्ते ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं ऋषयः क्षीणकल्मषाः छिन्नद्वैधायतात्मानः सर्वभूतहिते रताः कामक्रोधवियुक्तानां यतीनां यतचेतसाम् अभितो ब्रह्मनिर्वाणं वर्तते विदितात्मनां स्पर्शान् कृत्वा बहिर्बाह्यान् चक्षुश्चैवान्तरे भ्रुवोः प्राणापानौ समौ कृत्वा नासाभ्यन्तरचारिणौ यतेन्द्रियमनोबुद्धिः मुनिर्मोक्षपरायणः विगतेच्छाभयक्रोधो यः सदा मुक्त एव सः भोक्तारं यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरं सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति। ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे कर्मसन्न्यासयोगो नाम पञ्चमोऽध्यायः। अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः आत्मसंयमयोगः। श्रीभगवानुवाच अनाश्रितः कर्मफलं कार्यं कर्म करोति यः स सन्न्यासी च योगी च न निरग्निर्न चाक्रियः यं सन्न्यासमिति प्राहुः योगं तं विद्धि पाण्डव न ह्यसन्न्यस्तसङ्कल्पो योगी भवति कश्चन आरुरुक्षोर्मुनेर्योगं कर्मकारणमुच्यते योगारूढस्य तस्यैव शमः कारणमुच्यते यदा हिनेन्द्रियार्थेषु न कर्मस्वनुषज्जते सर्वसङ्कल्पसन्न्यासी योगारूढस्तदोच्यते उद्धरेदात्मनात्मानं नात्मानमवसादयेत् आत्मैव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुः आत्मैव रिपुरात्मनः बन्धुरात्मात्मनस्तस्य येनात्मैवात्मना जितः अनात्मनस्तु शत्रुत्वे वर्तेतात्मैव शत्रुवत् जितात्मनः प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानापमानयोः ज्ञानविज्ञानतृप्तात्मा कूटस्थो विजितेन्द्रियः युक्त इत्युच्यते योगी समलोष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीनमध्यस्थद्वेष्यबन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते योगी युञ्जीत सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः शुचौ देशे प्रतिष्ठाप्य स्थिरमासनमात्मनः नात्युच्छ्रितं नातिनीचं चैलाजिनकुशोत्तरं तत्रैकाग्रं मनः कृत्वा यतचित्तेन्द्रियक्रियः उपविश्यासने युञ्जाद् योगमात्मविशुद्धये समं कायशिरोग्रीवं धारयन्नचलं स्थिरः सम्प्रेक्ष्य नासिकाग्रं स्वं दिशश्चानवलोकयन् प्रशान्तात्मा विगतभीः ब्रह्मचारिव्रते स्थितः मनः संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी नियतमानसः शान्तिं निर्वाणपरमां मत्संस्थामधिगच्छति नात्यश्नतस्तु योगोऽस्ति न चैकान्तमनश्नतः न स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन युक्ताहारविहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो युक्त इत्युच्यते तदा यथा दीपो निवातस्थो नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यतचित्तः चित्तस्य युञ्जतो योगमात्मनः यत्रोपरमते चित्तं निरुद्धं योगसेवया यत्र चैवात्मनात्मानं पश्यन्नात्मनि तुष्यति सुखमात्यन्तिकं यत्तद् बुद्धिग्राह्यमतीन्द्रियं वेत्ति यत्र न चैवायं स्थितश्चलति तत्त्वतः यं लब्ध्वा चापरं लाभं मन्यते नाधिकं ततः यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचाल्यते तं विद्यात् दुःखसंयोगवियोगं योगसंज्ञितं स निश्चयेन योक्तव्यो योगो निर्विण्णचेतसा संकल्पप्रभवान् कामान् त्यक्त्वा सर्वान् शेषतः मनसैवेन्द्रियग्रामं विनियम्य समन्ततः शनैः शनैरुपरमेद् बुद्ध्या धृतिगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत् यतो यतो निश्चरति मनश्चञ्चलमस्थिरं ततस्ततो नियम्यैतद् आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत् प्रशान्तमनसं ह्येनं योगिनं सुखमुत्तमम् उपैति शान्तरजसं ब्रह्मभूतमकल्मषम् युञ्जन्नेवं सदात्मानं योगी विगतकल्मषः सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम् अत्यन्तं सुखमश्नुते सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि पश्यति तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि स च मे न प्रणश्यति स्थितं यो मां भजते स्थितः सर्वथा स्मर्तमानोऽपि स योगी मयि वर्तते आत्मौपम्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मतः अर्जुन उवाच योऽयं योगस्त्वया प्रोक्तः साम्येन मधुसूदन एतस्याहं न पश्यामि चञ्चलत्वात् स्थितिं स्थिरां चञ्चलं हि मनः कृष्ण प्रमाथि बलवदृढं तस्याहं निग्रहं मन्ये वायोरिव सुदुष्करम् श्रीभगवानुवाच असंशयं महाबाहो मनो दुर्निग्रहं चलम् अभ्यासेन तु कौन्तेय वैराग्येण च गृह्यते असंयतात्मना योगो दुष्प्राप इति मे मतिः वश्यात्मना तु यतता शक्यो वाप्तुमुपायतः अर्जुन उवाच अयति श्रद्धयोपेतो योगाच्चलितमानसः अप्राप्य योगसंसिद्धिं कां गतिं कृष्ण गच्छति कच्चिन्नो भयविभ्रष्टः छिन्नाभ्रमिव नश्यति अप्रतिष्ठो महाबाहो विमूढो ब्रह्मणः पथि एतन्मे संशयं कृष्ण छेत्तुमर्हस्य शेषतः त्वदन्यः संशयस्यास्य छेत्ता न ह्युपपद्यते। श्रीभगवानुवाच पार्थ नैवेह नामुत्र विनाशस्तस्य विद्यते न हि कल्याणकृत् कश्चित् दुर्गतिं तात गच्छति प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् उषित्वा शाश्वती समाः शुचीनां श्रीमतां गेहे योगभ्रष्टोऽभिजायते अथवा योगिनामेव कुले भवति धीमताम् एतद्धि दुर्लभतरं लोके जन्म यदीदृशम् तत्र तं बुद्धिसंयोगं लभते पौर्वदेहिकम् यतते च ततो भूयः संसिद्धौ कुरु नन्दन पूर्वाभ्यासेन तेनैव ह्रियते ह्यवशोऽपि सः जिज्ञासुरपि योगस्य शब्दब्रह्माति वर्तते प्रयत्नाद्यतमानस्तु योगी संशुद्धकिल्बिषः अनेकजन्म संसिद्धः ततो याति परां गतिम् तपस्विभ्योऽधिको योगी ज्ञानिभ्योऽपि मतोऽधिकः कर्मिभ्यश्चाधिको योगी तस्माद्योगी भवार्जुन योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मना श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां स मे युक्ततमो मतः। ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे आत्मसंयमयोगो नाम षष्ठोऽध्यायः।
ओम नमः परमर्षिभ्यो नमः परमर्षिभ्यः हरि ओम। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्याम् जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणतया निधानम् आचार्यमाद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तम् विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधम्। ममाद्यदेवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु। श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम् अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तम् ॐ तत्सदाख्यं पुरुषं गुहेशं भक्तार्तिनाशाय शरीरवन्तं मोदस्वरूपं मधुरस्वभावं त्वाम् आत्मनाथं रमणं भजामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्ताम् सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। गतसङ्गस्य मुक्तस्य ज्ञानावस्थितचेतसः यज्ञायाचरतः कर्म समग्रं प्रविलीयते ब्रह्मार्पणं ब्रह्महविः ब्रह्माग्नौ ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मैव तेन गन्तव्यम् ब्रह्मकर्म समाधिना। So we contemplated on the 23rd verse yesterday. The essence, or we can say the sutra. The sutra of present discussion is Kritvapi na nibadhyate. Our worldly life is filled with karma. That is why the Upanishad says, and the person is fed up with this acting and earning, doing and earning business. When he is seeking something which is purna, whole, which is not the result of karma, then he can approach a Vedanta Acharya and from him get this knowledge of the Atman, the self. Parikshya lokan karmachitan brahmano nirvedamayat nasti akritah kritena. Parikshya lokan. Our entire life is like a parikshana. That is perhaps Bhagavata has been taught to Parikshit. So our life is a parikshana. Whether I will get perfection here, I will get perfection here, I will get perfection here. After experimenting with many things, consciously or unconsciously, we are all experimenting. Unfortunately, we get stuck somewhere, that's all. Not able to move from there. You need a push to move from there. But the exploration, the experimenting continues. Whether I will get happiness here, whether I will get fulfillment here, whether there is contentment, tripti by doing this. This parikshana is going on and on and on. Whatever you have achieved, do pariksha of it, or you are doing it already. Unconsciously or consciously, everyone is doing it. A stage will come, nirvedam. No more accumulating knowledge from the world. All this is, you get fed up with the so-called knowledge. Because you find it is very limited, nonsense. All this education is not leading you anywhere. It is like going round and round. In Tamil, there is a beautiful song by Tayumanavar. He says, by studying, I can act as if I have found you. But my own conscience is pricking. It's not giving me peace. So academic knowledge, academically learning even Vedanta will not take you anywhere. Katra arival unainan kandavan pol soodhu adil. Kutram yendru en nenje kodikkum paraparame. Very beautiful song. He says Katra arivu means academically learnt knowledge. You have not absorbed it. You have not internalized it. You have not experienced it. And I speak with authority. And he calls it Shudh. Shudh means deceiving, deception. But my own mind says the same happiness, the same tripti, or what, that spiritual element has not happened to me. So there will be no fulfillment in the heart, no tripti in the heart. So this nirvedam, no more this absorbing from the world, either through the senses or through the intellect, all these things. Ahriyate iti aharaha shabdadi vishaya vijnanam. It does not mean simply knowledge. It means seeing. The hunger of the eyes are not over. Hearing, the ear is not appeased. Smelling many things, nose is fed up. Eating, the tongue is over. Not only the tongue, the tummy also. Everything you have done. One devotee, Kanakama, used to very often say that Bambaram, what will they call in top? But top, if you say top means many things, so that whirling top with which we play, it is whirling to stop. Like that, everything that you do ultimately will come to end. The intellect will also get fed up by knowing many things. How much? And after all, after all this academic education, you become a buffoon. Because you speak about those things, those who are hearing does not understand head or tail. sitting here, I speak about Yushmat Asmat Pratyaya Gocharayoho Vishaya Vishayam Brahma Sutra. And blinking faces, I feel I am a buffoon. Because this knowledge is not reaching anywhere. Nobody is benefited. So, Alpavidapi. The Upanishad says, Bhashyakara, Bhagavad Pada also says, Alpavidapi, even if you know a little. Yadi chittavan bhavati, the person has absorbed it, assimilated it. Taduktartha grahanayeva shrotumichanti nipunaha. Even very, very intelligent, wise people will, like thirsty Chataka birds, they will listen to him. Because even if it is a little, he has absorbed it, assimilated it. So the knowledge becomes viryavattaram bhavati. The knowledge, anena adhitena ahoratran sandadhami. The Shantipata Upanishad says, whatever I have studied, let me live with it day and night. It is not for speaking in the stage, it is not for just talking. Day and night. See, the sign of a knowledge is, suppose you have studied Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads, Bhagavata, all these things you study. You are really experiencing it. Experiencing it means what? The sign of experience means joy. When you have that joy, the sign is, if you start studying at the age of 40, at the age of 90 also you will be studying the same books with the same joy. You don't, oh, this is finished. Bhagavatam, I know Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, I know. Some other book, no. You, every time you look at it, it is fresh. Every time you enjoy. Every time you sit with the Upanishad, the Bhashya, the Gita, Viveka Chudamani, or even in very, very late years, I have seen Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, some of the direct devotees, sitting with the talks with Ramana Maharshi and the Nool Tirat. They will be every day as if first time studying, sitting with it. Because Pratikshanam yan avatamupaiti tadeva rupam ramaniyatayaha. Real truth, it is navam. Always new, always fresh, always fresh, always fresh. So you don't seek other knowledge. That is why Bhagavata claims, those who have found a taste in Bhagavata, nanyatra syad ratihi kvachit. They do not tadrasamrita triptanam nanyatra syad ratih kvachit. If you really find delight in it, you don't want to read anything else. Always reading the same book. People will ask, are you not bored? Same thing reading. People, recently someone who heard me talk, perhaps my first open talk, in 90 or 91 in Ramanacharanatirtha, the person who heard, he says, you are saying the same thing now also. Is there in Palakkad? The same thing, no difference. Neither the speaker is bored, nor the listener is bored. Because the very nature of that Shastra is like that. Asuptehe amritehe kalam nayet vedanta chintaya. Till you sleep, till the body falls, drops off, dies, Vedanta vichara goes on and on and on. So, that is the sign of true spiritual pursuit. And when that knowledge arises when the person touches the true knowledge, the Purna, which is not created by me, which is not created anything that the mind, however great the mind might be, however great the intellect might be, you will not every day study the same physics book. By hearting the physics books and every day doing the physics or chemistry or geography, every day you know it over. This also you know, then also why do you study? It is not studying. You just enjoy it again and again and again, the same thing. The worldly principles, once you know, you know. That's all. But you again and again, you don't take delight in it. But Atma is not like that. Atmaratireva syad atmatriptashamanavaha atmanyevacha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyate. When the person has found the Atma, his delight is in Atma, and he is absolutely content by getting that knowledge, and his Atmanyevacha santushtaha, there is great santushti. See, santushti, tripti, rati, all in a way it's all same meaning. But the Shruti is giving various words for the same thing, so we have to find some other meaning. Atmaratihi, Atmatriptaha, Atmamithunaha. When you want someone else from outside, it is Mithuna. You don't need anyone. Your own Atma is fully joy. You have the companion of your own Atma. Nothing else is needed. And delight is in the Atma. Tripti is in Atma, not in money or not in achieving something in the world. All this becomes nonsense. So this knowledge, the person, first of all, when the intellect, or you can call the mind, touches this transcendental stuff, this incorruptible stuff, it just touches it, the pure stuff, then it is like, the Chintamani. The moment you touch the Chintamani with a metal, the metal becomes gold. Like that, the moment the intellect touches the Supreme, that very moment, body, mind, world, everything is for him transfigured as Brahman, as divine. So this is, after that, there is no doer, there is no enjoyer, nothing. Doership becomes powerless. Enjoyership becomes, it merges with the joy. That Purnatva comes. His action, praviliyate, it just merges in the totality. Samagram praviliyate. His action is like the action of Ishvara. So he will act, but his very acting is Samadhi. See, here comes that great Purnatva. Samsara also becomes Purna. The Upanishad says Purnamadaha, Purnamidam, Purnat Purnamudachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Avashishyate. This Atma is Purna, and this world with all its complexities is also Purna. But first you say that, then you will get caught by that. That is why what we say, mithya, not real, unreal. Turn the mind inward. Turn the mind inward and find out who is seeing the world, who is the seer. So when the mind is completely antarmukha, searching the knower, vijnata. When the vijnata is known, the knower is known, means the knower is pure awareness is recognized. Till that recognition happens, this nididhyasana has to be done. With pure intellect, with pure will, the person has to pursue this inward journey. Bhagavad Pada uses the word pratyak pravaha. That inward flow of the mind. The mind is constantly flowing out through the senses, through the mind, through the intellect. Bahirmukha. Now, for the first time, you know the treasure that you are seeking is waiting for you in your own heart. So you start pushing your mind inward. Trying to hold it in the heart, where there is profound peace, shanti, that shanti dhama, ananda dhama, where there is absolute fulfillment. Tamil சொன்னோம் நம்ம நிறைவு அப்படிங்கிறோம். நிறைவு, fulfillment. Once that is found, when sufficiently the person has absorbed the jnanam, you may call it samadhi or you may call it nididhyasana, you may whatever you like you may call. When the person has to come back to the world because prarabdha is there, that is another mysterious phenomenon. Even for the jnani, after the knowledge, prarabdha exists. See, even for Krishna, I say, don't say he came from Vaikuntha now. See, the problem is, when we speak Vedanta, we should speak Vedanta. When you speak Bhakti, we speak Bhakti. You should not mix. When I say, don't be weak, all these tears will not do. Somebody has written, Bhakti many have attained. That is different. I will myself shed tears. That is, when you want bhakti, we will speak about bhakti in another. You should not mix. Sometimes in Gita also bhakti comes, that we will discuss. Now we are not here to find out which is real, which is true, or we are exploring. It is like a meditation for us now. Already we are sufficiently weak. So now, what were we saying? Yes, Krishna? Ellaruma solradhu. Yes, prarabdha. So Krishna, you see, any great Mahatma, sometimes the most aesthetic part of spiritual life is they spend many years in meditation, tapas. After that, they came out as realized souls. And people will say, they sat in this mountain, this cave, and when they came out, they were realized. We want something like that. Because we only know they went to a college, spent 12 years, studied, and then came out, value is there. Because we know karma, not that spontaneity. Somebody just walks inside, the satsanga goes out as a jivan mukta, you will not accept. And how can that happen? It is not possible. The same person, that is what Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi's life. Even now you ask, people will say he did tapas in Virupaksha cave, tapas in Skandashram, tapas there, so much tapas. Bhagavan said, I have not done anything. What happened in Madurai is complete. After that, there was simply abidance in that. That's all. No doing, no achievement, no doing, no working, no austerity, nothing. Bhagavan said, when I kept quiet, people called I am Mauni. When I was sitting still, people called I am meditating. There was no need, because I am not working, so I took bhiksha. That also people considered as tapasya. After attainment, there is no tapasya, there is no achievement, there is no movement of sadhana. So in Krishna, if you look at Krishna from the Vedantic perspective, when did he sit for meditation? Where did he did some sadhana? If you say, okay, from Vaikunta he came, all those things. But Bhagavan says in Gita, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshindite jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. All these things Bhagavan says. And in his own life, he went to Sandipani, everything. But that jnanam is so full that there is no need for it by fulfilling it by everyday practice, all these things. But nididhyasana needs that. So don't get confused by these things. I am speaking from a plane where there is purnatva. When the person has attained that purna jnanam, there is no question of karmana, no vardhate, no kaniyan. As Veda says, it will not increase by karma, it will not decrease by karma. It is purna. Once attained, it is purna. So that kind of attainment, that kind of purnatva, with that purnatva, what did Krishna do? He did not even give lecture. His work he did. Whatever a Kshatriya has to do, everything he did. For some time he was with the cows. And after that, when he came to the politics, he was fully in politics. He was a kingmaker. And till the last day, working. And Bhagavan says, I have nothing to achieve from work. Even if I don't work, nothing to lose. Name partha asti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana. Na anavaptam avaptavyam varta evacha karmani. Still I am doing the action. I have nothing to attain, nothing to lose. I am acting out of my fullness. See, such a way of doing action is there where the person, absolute fullness is acting. And the very action is samadhi. Whatever he may do, that very activity is samadhi. And this Bhagavan says in next sloka, we will see. Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi.
Brahmarpanam Brahma Havihi.
Brahmagno Brahmanahutam.
Brahmagno Brahmanahutam.
Brahmaivate gantavyam.
Brahmaivate gantavyam.
Brahma karma samadhina.
Brahma karma samadhina.
Here the essence is Brahma karma samadhi. For 90%, 99% of people, it is an ideal. Because we know only doing and getting. That is why we connect spiritual knowledge with sitting like this. We connect spiritual knowledge with japa, homa, everything. Without that, we do not know that spirituality. That purnatva. And somewhere we have connected these two in such a way that our action, whatever it might be, we don't consider it sacred. Somehow we want to finish that action and go and do japam or puja. This is our basic problem. And the problem is, okay, if you are able to spend in Japam Dhyanam from morning to night, it is okay. How much you will do? Because if it is not Swadharma, after 15 minutes over. Only 15 minutes meditation, for that in the Sakka podu podu. ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியல, ஜபம் பண்ண முடியல, தியானம் பண்ண முடியல, என்னவோ துருவன் மாதிரி தபஸ் பண்ண போறா போல. Whatever you are going to do, only 15 or 20 minutes or half an hour or maximum 1 hour. For that, so much makeup. But you are doing something for 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours. Suppose if it becomes your puja, what will be your state? Just imagine your prarabdha karma. I have to go to office morning 8 o'clock till evening 6 o'clock. And after that coming and doing Sandhya Vandanam for half an hour. But can you in some way transform that activity, whatever may be the activity? People will say, Swami, you can say you are all doing Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, that can be transformed. But that office, see, Krishna is saying this terrible war. And he says, Arjuna, transform this war as spiritual experience. Because you are carrying the spirit in your very being and the body is acting. This is the only thing in the world. So whatever may be the activity, it certainly needs lot of manana, nididhyasana to transform the base material to gold. But that you have to do. This is only an ideal perhaps. Not practically, we have not achieved it. But we cannot deny that it is possible. Because Bhagavan is saying this and he has proved it. In the war field, he is in Samadhi. Very calm. Not that outer calmness is not the thing. He was lodged, established in the Yoga Sthiti. That is why he was called Yogeshwara. Yogeshwara means what? One who has complete control of yoga. Whatever may be the prarabdha of the sharira, that complete control, owning of yoga is there. That is what we saw in Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Day and night, no special practice. All Mahatmas, we have seen some time for meditation, some special time, nothing. But 24 hours, no achamana, no panchapatra, no japamala, nothing. No Shivalinga, Salagramam, nothing. Not depending on anything. 24 hours in the crowd. Even you go, many people will come to Tiruvannamalai in midnight, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock, and take a horse chariot and go to the ashram. There they will see him sitting quiet. There also that samadhi bhanga is not there. Is it? That is what in Aksharamanammalai he sang. Rappahalilla varuveli vittil ramittiduvom va. It is for us, not for him. He is calling, inviting. You can have that delight in the Chidakasha without day or night. Timeless. No time. You need not depend on any action. Whatever may be your action of the body, even if it is fighting, fight. One person said, Swami, I got a great idea. Every day I fight with my wife, but I will fight in yoga. Fight I cannot stop. It will happen. I will fight in Mam Anusmara Yudhyachan. And he wrote it in a card and kept it there. Yuddham I cannot avoid, but Smaranam I have to add. Yoga I have to add. So yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. So Arjuna, all time, always be established in yoga. This is the message. For that, if you are depending on some process, that process itself will become your Hridaya Granthi. And the problem is, it has a beginning and end. That is why going deeper, exploring, ultimately in Vedanta we will say Jivan Mukti is a Hridaya Granthi. Because till this day I was not a Jivan Mukta. Suddenly one day I became Jivan Mukta. And by dying the person will become Videha Mukta. That is another argument. That also we don't accept. Because the Atma is Nitya Mukta. When that recognition happens, it is eternally free, Nitya Muktatva is there, the person is ever established there. And the beauty of it is, after that recognition, he looks at everyone, he finds everyone is Nitya Mukta. The Mandukya Karika, Gaudapadacharya says, Sarve Dharmaha, all the jivas, Prakritya Nirmalaha, all are pure. Nobody has any impurity. Everyone is free. No one is bound. If the person is seeing a little bit of duality, purity will not happen. Vaisharadyam tu vainasti bhede vicharatam sada. Vaisharadyam means purity. Parishuddhi is not there. So when the person looks at everything as divine, the actor, action, these things all drop off. And his samadhi means knowledge. Jnanam, awareness of the self, is timeless. In this stage, a normal person can do his work. You can work in kitchen. You need not wait for finishing the kitchen work and then meditate. Your cooking is not lesser than Shiva Puja. Your cooking itself is Shiva Puja. Then what you cook, that food is Brahma. Aham cha Brahma, Annam cha Brahma, Bhokta cha Brahma. I am Brahman. The Annam that I am cooking is Brahma. And those who eat here, they are all Brahma. If a family Amma can do this, her kitchen will become the most sacred tirtha. And those who eat from her hand are not eating food, they are getting initiated spiritually. It becomes a diksha, adhyatma diksha. So much is there in this Brahma Karma Samadhi. And you can see in Maharashtra, someone was in a thoti, sewage cleaner. We can say sewage cleaner. The Choka Mela. For him, that karma was Brahma Karma Samadhi. Namadeva was a tailor. For him, that karma was Brahma Karma Samadhi. So there, you are not waiting to finish the work and then meditate. You have this a little bit of ignorance that you have to do something. So you do. Add Bhagavan Nama. Vitthala, 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 Rama, Rama, Narayana. Anything you add. Why are you adding? Only to remind that this moment is Purna, this moment is Purna, this moment is Purna, this moment is Purna. Because this moment alone is real. Neither the last moment nor the future moment. Past moment is dead. Future moment is imaginary. Now you are aware, conscious. So every moment you have that Bhagavan Nama, just to remind you, make you recollect that everything is divine. Sarvam khalu idam brahma iti shanta upasita. The Upanishad says, in a peaceful, tranquil, calm manner, do meditation on this, that sarvam khalu idam brahma tad jalaniti shanta upasita. This is all Brahman. Everything arises from there. Everything remains there. Everything returns there. Even in the manifested form, it is all nothing but divine. From gold, ornaments are made. But ornaments, by taking that shape of a mala or a chain or a ring or a nose ring or a ear ring, it is not giving up its goldhood, its swarnatva. So whatever may be the shape, whatever may be the practical use, it is gold. Like that, all the names and forms in the world with all its samsara, vyavahara, upayogitva is there. But it is nothing but Brahma. Here in this shloka is one of the most famous shloka. When you go to Rishikesh or any ashrama, for that, even Ramakrishna ashrama, when you sit for taking food, prasada there, you have to chant this shloka. And in our Shraddha Karma also somewhere they have included, in many sampradaya, they have included this Brahmarpanam Brahmahavi into the Shraddha Karma also. So, but this shloka is in the form of Agni Karma. The sages have found this knowledge of the self while they were doing karma kanda form of life, because so much tapasya is there in karma kanda. So much tapasya is there. Even today, our Swamiji is here, Advaendra Saraswati Swami. Swamiji was saying that when you do Somayaga, 5 days, this Yajnika will not take any food. He will do Upavasa. And in such a way that the skin has to touch the bone. And the Yajnika should be lifted to the altar. He should reach that state. So, this karma kanda portion is also not simply only rituals, only this world, it is all maha yajnaischa brahmiyam kriyate tanuhu. Through many yajnas, the person is purified. So much tapasya is there if it is done in the right way. If they say annam na ashniyat, chapati can be eaten, not annam. That is how we do ekadashi. So no rice, I will eat chapati. So that way if you do, no use. So right way of upavasadi, tapasya. So much of tapasya is there in karma kanda portion also. While they were striving to achieve that, in that portion they attain jnana. So, whatever example they give is all from that yajna. It's all yajna. From yajna only many examples are given. That is karma called pratipatti karma. That is very interesting. When the yajna is being done, the person is having so much austerity that he should not even do itching with his fingers. So he will use, if the moment you decide I should not do like this, it will start. What to do? So, this deer horn, Krishna Vishana, Krishna Mrga Vishana, that horn, a piece will be given. With that only they will do this. So, after this yajna, everything is systematic. It should be kept here, it should be. You learn great discipline also in this yajna. We have all not done that yajna, so we don't have discipline also. Everything lies here, there, everywhere. So they learn so much of discipline in that yajna that even this Krishna Vishana, where should I put it? And they say there is something like a basket there. The Shastra says you put it there, they will put it only, even that little act, they will obey the Shastra. So there is a kind of absolute discipline. And somewhere in Upanishad also, this sannyasa also they say, why should a jnani take sannyasa? He has achieved jnana. They say it is like this. What should I do? Put it there. Like that after attainment, what should I do? Take sannyas. All this karma, where should I? You put it there. That's all. Over. It is not that tyaga karma vidhanam. No, you should renounce. Not like that. No special compulsion or anything. So, this yajna thing is so much there in the Upanishad. Modern researchers, the more modern the researcher is, the more mistake he makes. Swami Vivekananda said. The more modern the author is, the more mistake he makes. Because we are estranged from the source so much that we are not able to understand anything about it. Because you have to come in the right sampradaya, otherwise I have heard one person went to C.V. Raman while he was sitting in a park and he asked, I want to know about Raman effect. So Raman told him, C.V. Raman told him that, are you a doctor in physics or some even concentrated area? He said, no, first you have it, then I will tell you. He is also a doctorate in some other subject, but you should be like in the center. So there should be, this is bhakti actually, you really know it and you are ready to do it, that state. So we are so much taken away from the Vaidika parampara, so many things we are not able to make meaning out of it. So this Agni Karma, all these things are there in Karma Kanda, is not in simply Karma Kanda. Jnana Kanda is also, so many Karma Kanda portions are there. When Yajnavalkya is answering Janaka in the Sabha, many other Karma Kanda questions are also there along with these Upanishad questions. Devata Vishaya Prashna are also there. So that is also answered. And the Mundaka Upanishad, you see how the Ahuti has to be offered. That is also told. Kali Karali cha Manojava cha Trilohitaya cha Sudhumra Varna Spulingini Vishwa Kali Karali cha Manojava cha Sulohitaya cha Sudhumra Varna Spulingini Vishwaruchi cha Devi Lelayamana iti Sapta Jihvaha. This Agni has all the 7 flames. The person has to, Ahuti should be offered in the middle, in the center. Who is saying? The Upanishad is saying. One mantra, Upanishad says, you have to do with so much bhakti offer. And the next mantra, the Upanishad says, all these are boat with so many holes. Don't go there. It is all enough. Plavahyate adridhaha yajnarupaha. Ashtadashoktamavaram yesha karma, yeshu karma, etat shreyo ye abhimanyanti mudhaha, jaramrityum te punareva abhiyanti. So, when you study only one portion, you will be confused why it is like that. So, when they were in that Yajna Mandapa, they got this Shruti. When they were doing Yajna, they have got this realization, so they are using the same thing. Suppose a person attains Jnanam. While doing some other work, that example will come. Kabir, many places he has sung that this cloth is Rama, the thread is Rama, I am Rama, whomever I am seeing, jit deko tit tu. Tu karta tu bhaya, mujme rahi na ho, sarvam khalvitam brahma. Saying you. There is no I inside me, he says. There also only Rama. Jagrati Rama, Swapani Rama. So it is all Rama. So this is Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahma Arpanam, Ena Karanena Brahmavit, Havihi Agnau Arpayati, Tad Brahmaiva. When the Brahmavit is offering this Havis into the fire, that is also Brahman, he is also Brahman. Tasya Atmavyatirekena Abhavam Pashyati. For him, nothing exists other than the Atman. Everything is the self. Brahmaiva Arpanam, Brahmaiva Karta. So when the action, the actor, the result is all Brahman. It's all, you can say, Bhagavan. Yad tena hutam havana kriya tad brahmaiva. Yad tena gandavyam phalam tadavi brahmaiva. Brahma karma samadhina. Brahmaiva karma brahma karma. Tasmin samadhihi. Yasya saha brahma karma samadhihi. Brahma karma samadhina. So, in this state, Jivan Mukta works in the world. Evam Loka Sangraham, you have to listen to this. Evam Loka Sangraham Chigirshuna Kriyamanam Karma Paramarthataha Akarma. In this state, a Jivan Mukta, even if he decides, I have to do this work, that work, mission, he is not doing anything, because for him, world is also Brahman, he is also Brahman, his action is also Brahman. Brahman is not a subject or object or action or anything. It is every movement, whether it is iceberg, whether it is water, whether it is vapor, it is Brahman. Evam lokasangraham chigirshunāpi kriyamanam karma paramarthataha akarmaiva brahma buddhi upamrtitatvāt. By the knowledge of Brahma is kriyakaraga phalatva. I am the doer, I have this kartritva, all these things are erased. Evam sati nivrta karmanopi sarvakarma-sannyasinaha samyak darshana stutyartam yajnatva sampadanam jnanasya sutaram upapadyate. These are all. Now comes the discussion that is not necessary for normally studying people. So what we have explained it thoroughly, that the knower, you don't think when a person realizes God, he will sit only inside a cave. We have seen so many Mahatmas working in the world. Also some people, they simply sit absorbed in the divine. When someone asked Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, comparatively Ramana Bhagavan did not much do outer work. But constantly he was also working, doing something, even cooking in kitchen, everything he was doing. So, one person asked him, quoting some other person. They say they are all jnanis. Some known Mahatma, about some known Mahatma, he was asking Ramana Bhagavan that they say he is a jnani, but he is working in the world. Then Bhagavan smiled and told him, who told you that a jnani should not work in the world? If jnanis are not working, if you think a jnani should not work in the world, all the great Mahatmas will become ajnanis. Especially Ishvara will become the greatest ajnani. Constantly working Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara, everything he is doing, and all the nonsense is being done by him. Not only good things. Pahalgam war. Why? Me Narayana-kritam karma. Second World War, First World War. Many people, they became atheist because these things are happening. What kind of God is this? We don't want that God. Because they have an idea of God who is sitting there doing good. Swami Vivekananda said, this idea of God as good is so disturbing that something terrible happens in your life, all your faith in God is shaken. Kali the Mother, a song which he wrote in a kind of trance, he wrote it from Kashmir, Shir Bhavani. In that song he says, a person who can worship the terrible, only by worshipping the terrible, you will be able to transcend the terrible. One who can dance with delight in the dance of death. Something like that. I am not exactly quoting. To him, mother comes. Mother comes means what? That experience happens. Because that time he got so much affected by the plague in Calcutta where people were suffering. And he was weeping, tears were flowing. Suddenly he had a vision of Kali. Where he recognized that this devastating thing happening is also a face of the divine. That is why Arjuna, who has seen Krishna very peaceful, very calm, very beautiful, suddenly he saw that Vishwarupam. Vishwarupam is not that painted photo that you see with so many faces fitted there. No. Arjuna says, even such a powerful person like Arjuna, he said, Krishna, he was shivering. Bhida pranamya. His whole body shivering. He fell down and did namaskara again and again, and he said, Akya hime ko bhavanugra rupaha. Oh Lord, who are you? This terrible form. Namostu de deva varaprasida. Why this terrible form? See, when that Hiroshima, Nagasaki, that they put the bomb there, one great scientist wrote, many people quote this, I don't remember his name, where he says, then I remembered this Gita shloka. Yadi surya sahasrasya bhaved yugapaduthita. So when you see something terrible, you are able to see the divine there. When you see sorrow, suffering, pain, in Yoga Vasishta there is a Upakyana, Deva Puja Upakyana, where Shiva is initiating Vasishta to this secret method, where anything happening in your life, you are able to see it as divine. See, life is not simply this Satvik Puja and Nama Sankirtana Bhajana. If it is like that, it is good. It is not like that. All the terrible things happen, nonsense, absurd things happen in life. That is where people are shaken. They say, why Bhagavan has done this? I have been doing Japam, I have been doing Puja. Still this thing is happening. So there the Deva Puja Upakyana, Ishvara is giving Vasishta this Upadesha that the terrible form also, you have this Samadhi. Samadhi means what? Seeing it as Brahma is Samadhi. Seeing that as a wave happening in pure consciousness. The wave can be a sattvic wave, it can be a tsunami also. The more terrible it is, the more your ecstasy is in the height. The idea is very beautiful, but when something happens in our life, directly, to see it as divine, we will get affected, even to look at that affectation also as divine. Don't expect that, again we will think this is a technique by which I can be unaffected. No. Guna guneshu vartante. Some event happens, this body, this mind will react to it according to its swabhava, the genetic nature. Even while it is happening, somewhere behind the buddhi is saying the thing happening and the reaction is all divine. It is all happening in the ocean of pure consciousness. The wave is also water. The ripple is also water. Icebergs are also water. Actually, fish, crocodile, whale, everything is water. They all have Jalamaya Sharira. The plants inside the ocean is also water. It is all salila eko drishta dvaito bhavati. So when that oneness is seen, this non-dualness, non-dual awareness becomes whole, purna. Then that vision gives the person abundant spiritual experience. Profound spiritual experience, which Bhagavan here calls it as Brahma-karma-samadhi. In this state, the person goes beyond the good and bad and everything, touching the highest oneness. Once that happens, life as such becomes Purna. Then you can say Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. What is inside me, first you say the world is Apurnam. It is imperfect, it is mithya, it is unreal. So you push it, go inside and touch that pure Shuddha Chaitanya. Then you recognize that is Purnam. So when you stay there, you want to stay there again and again. But it is not possible. It will push the mind out because the prarabdha shakti is so much there. Whatever may be your prarabdha, you will be pushed back to that land. So when you come out, first again and again you try to go and sit in samadhi. Again you are pushed out. You go there, again you are pushed out. Then you get this knowledge that Purnat Purnamudachyate. Whatever arises from that inner Purna is also Purna. This knowledge suddenly becomes alive in the person. Anvikshiki Vidya. Bhagavata calls it Anvikshiki Vidya. Even while Ikshana is happening, looking is happening, he has that spiritual experience. This is what Prahlada got. Anvikshikim Alarkaya Prahladadibhya Uchivan. Bhagavan gave this knowledge of Anvikshiki Vidya to Prahlada, by which even in the terrible Hiranyakashipu, he looked at him with Narayana Buddhi. He felt he is also Narayana. He didn't think, oh, he is an ignorant person. No. He looked at Hiranyakashipu also as Narayana. Some cobra was brought to bite him, that also Narayana. When he was pushed from the mountain, that is also Narayana. That story is a potential of Brahma Vidya. It is not practical for us. We jump from here, there, fracture. So for us, this object has not become divine. That much divine fullness when it comes. It is the potential that the Shastra is saying, so much can happen. So you start doing upasita. The Shruti says upasita. Atma ityeva upasita. Atmetyeva upasita. Looking at everything slowly, you divinize. Isha vasyam idam sarvam. Idam sarvam Ishwarena achadaniyam. This is the idea we have got. Now the entire life is a chance to practice it. Everywhere he is looking at me. With every hand he is giving me. With every leg he is moving. So, sarvatah pani padam tat sarvatah akshi shiromukham. That is the Vishwarupam. This is Vishwarupam. Through every eyes, the Narayana is looking. Through every nose, he is breathing. That one whole, Hridayam Vishwabasya. And through every body, the same one being is breathing. So this is Vishwarupa Darshana. When this becomes practical, then only the person knows what is true love. It is not attachment. It is seeing that Hari Sarveshu Bhuteshu Bhagavan Asta Ishvara. That Hari is there in every being, every creature. And that awareness is there in day and night. So through the senses things are going in, but nothing is going in. The things going in are all divine. And the inner world, whatever is happening, it is also divine. The seer is divine, the seen is divine. Here ends with open eyes is in samadhi. No need for closing the eyes also. His movement is samadhi, his stillness is samadhi, his sleep is samadhi, his eating food is samadhi, everything is, the Shruti says, Brahma karma samadhi. Gita says, Brahma karma samadhi. So Brahmarpanam, whatever he gives, it is given to Brahman. And what he gives is also Brahman. Brahma havihi. And whoever receives it is also Brahman. Brahmagnav. And the giver is also Brahman. Brahmanahutam. And where does it go? Brahmaivatena gantavyam. Nothing will come back. It all will get merges in samagram. Samagram means Brahman. In that state, Brahma karma samadhi occurs. Evam sati nivritta karmanopi sarva karma sannyasinaha. Samyak darshana stutyartam. Brahmaivedam sarvamitya abhijnanataha vidushaha karma abhavaha karaka buddhi abhavaha nahi karaka buddhi hitam rahitam yajnakyam karma drishtam. When the person has this knowledge, his doership is gone. So I have already answered one question. Despite awareness to overcome body-mind complex, unable to overcome doership. How to cultivate complete surrender? Constant satsanga. Constant recollection. In Viveka Chudamani, Shankara Bhagavad Pada says, Even if you know that you are not the doer, again and again, due to habit, the doership arises. Yate vastuni api. Balavati vasana. The vasana is mental habit. Anadihi, we do not know when it started. Karta bhokta api ahamiti dridayasya samsara hetuhu. When I say this, many people are smiling because that very much relates. That is our problem. Karta bhokta api ahamiti. I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. This powerfully arises. How to avoid that? How to remove it? Pratyak drishtya atmani nivasata sapaneya. By again and again doing nididhyasanam, either you inquire who is this I who claims I am the doer. Constantly stay with that one question, focusing on the I thought. The I thought arises, I am the doer, I am the doer. Then you trace the I thought to the source, where from this I thought arises. When you inquire, when you look at this I thought, the I thought subsides in the heart. But after a few minutes again, due to habit, the doership arises. Enjoyership. Enjoyership means what? Some pleasant thing happens, enjoyment. Some pain, suffering comes, enjoyment. I am suffering, I am suffering. When you inquire who is suffering, suffering is also Brahma, and the sufferer who is suffering is also Brahman. There is no person who is suffering. There is no person who is doing. Ignorance again asserts itself as I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. Karta, bhokta, api ahamiti. Because of that dridha, very firm. Through many births, that habit has become ingrained. Samsara hetuhu, because of it I am suffering. Pratyak drishtya atmani nivasata, by looking inward, by pushing the I thought, exploring the I thought, and seeing that the I thought is unreal and only the true bodha, the I Atma is real. There is no doership, enjoyership there, even in deep sleep. So many hours. You are not thinking, I am sleeping, I am sleeping, I am sleeping, I am enjoying, nothing. Because that is simply existence. No doership, no enjoyership. Like that, the Jagrat Sushupti also. When the person recognizes the truth, no doership, no enjoyership, then Shanti. Then the person has karma abhavam. Whatever action the body does, he is not doing anything. Karaka buddhi abhavaha. Nahi karaka buddhi rahitam. So, sarvameva Agnihotradigam karma Shabda Samarpita Devata Vishesha Sampradhanadi Karaka Buddhi Mat. So this is all about Purva Paksha, Siddhanta, all those things. So Jnanam labdva param shantim achirena adhigacchati ityadina samyak darshana stutimeva kuruvat. So, when that jnanam comes, shanti comes. Shanti means what? The state where there is no duality, where there is no conflict. Then the peace is there. Purnatva is there. So, this is Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagnau, Brahmanahutam, Brahmaivatena gantavyam, Brahma-karma-samadhina. Here, our worldly life also becomes divine. People will, in a wrong way, take this argument. Living an ignorant life, when you ask, they will say, this is also divine. Okay, nothing wrong. But if you are feeling the fullness of it, then it's okay. But it is not possible. Till you attain that true knowledge, where you are constantly aware of that Purnatva. When your recognition is not manasa or bauddhika, your recognition is bodhajanya. It is in the awareness where it cannot be shaken, taken away. Then the person always, whatever he is doing is Brahma Karma Samadhi. In that state, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi says, his mind is like a photographic film plate. In former days, when it is a long karma paripati action, that you have to take a photograph, then that photograph should be developed inside a dark room. In between, if it is exposed to sunlight, it becomes useless. So Bhagavan says, the mind of a jnani, his mind is like a film exposed to sunlight. It cannot be developed. It no more comes back as samsara. And traditionally we say it is like dagdha dhanyam. That varatta vittum, boiled seeds which cannot sprout again, whatever it may be, roasted. Everyone will understand. That is more important. So pulingala rishi madri vechukone. So that is all. You cannot again sow it and make it sprout. Like that, the vasanas are all burnt. Ignorance is gone. Kritakrityata has happened. So, tasmat param shantim, there that supreme shanti, oneness, wholeness happens. Okay. So, after saying this yajna, this is the ultimate yajna, this shloka. Now, some avantara yajnas are also given. Whatever karma you are doing, you can transform it as yajna. So, various kind of yajnas can be done. Anyepi yajnaha upadikshante. Other yajnas are also here. Initiation is given for other yajnas. So, Daivameva pare yajnam.
Daivameva pare yajnam.
Yoginah paryupasate.
Yoginah paryupasate.
Brahma gnava pare yajnam.
Brahma vaha yajnam.
Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Yajnenaivopajuhvati.
Daivam eva apare yajnam yoginah paryupasate. Brahmagnau apare yajnam yajnenaiva upajuhvati. Yoginah paryupasate. A person, when he starts doing spiritual practice, when he starts meditating, he becomes a yogi. He is an Arurukshu yogi. Arurukshu is also yogi. Arudha is also yogi. So when the person is starting his inner journey, he has stepped into another realm, where for the first time he recognizes that the life is not materialistic. The life is not physical. Whatever you think is physical is 99% psychological. Like an iceberg, only a little bit you are seeing outside and you think that is the thing. A little bit that you see outside is like an iceberg. If you go inside the ocean, a big Everest will be there underneath. Like that, our action, our emotions, our achievements, all these are like iceberg. But the emotion behind it, the ignorance behind it, the idea, intention behind it, the will behind it, the resolve behind it, and the swabhava behind it. That is why we say kayena vacha manasa indriyairva buddhyatmanava prakritehe swabhavat. The reservoir is swabhava. Everyone has their own swabhava. Swarupa is same. Swabhava, the reservoir from where you are acting. Your deposit is different. With that you are doing business. Nobody can find it out. The outer action alone is seen. Aramamasya pashyanti natam pashyanti kashana. The Shruti says, his outer body is seen, he is not seen. So leave him. But first the yogi says that the outer action has so much of emotional waves behind, knowledge behind, many things are there. So all that he becomes more and more aware. So Daiva Yajna. Daivameva pare yajnam yoginah paryupasade. These yogis are upasaka yogis, the sadhaka. Whatever they do is a love offering at the feet of their beloved deity. Of course, the duality, I am the worshipper and he is my Ishta Devata, is retained in this state. And this is not the state of jnana, but certainly there is a kind of higher love happening there. So, Daivameva devaha ijyante yena yajnena asau devo yajnaha. Asau daivo yajnaha. Tameva apare yajnam yoginaha karminaha paryupasate kurvanti. Brahmagnau. Now, so this is also a yajna. When you do some puja for devata, Ishta Devata, that is a kind of sacred thing, a sacred worship. So that is Daiva Yajna. Brahmagnau apare yajnam yajnenaivopajuhvati. This is a very profound statement. Here Bhagavan speaks about the second group of yogis. By the grace of the Lord, they transform and deify the actions themselves as yajna, and they offer that yajna to yajna itself. Yajna is Vishnu. These yogis offer their yajna in the fire of Brahman, Brahmagnau. And where is that fire of Brahman? It is in the heart of every being. The Shruti says, Ardran jvalati jyotirhamasmi. Jyotir jvalati brahmahamasmi. Ardram, a gentle fire. Brahman is ever shining forth as a gentle fire in the heart, as I. It is ever effulgent in the heart as I am. This is the Pramana Vakya. So it is unto that fire all the fruits of karma are offered. Brahmagna vapare yajnam yajnenaiva upajuhvati. Whatever they may do, they make it yajna. And the offering is done where? Not outside. It is in Sri Vidya they call Samayachara and Kaulachara. So Kula Dharma and Samaya Dharma. So outwardly you do all this puja, that is Kaulachara. Inwardly Samayachara Rahastarpanatarpita Ye Namaha. The offering is all inwardly secret, not visible. They are working, but they are doing puja. So Brahmagnu apare yajnam yajnenaiva upajuhpati. Daiva yajna, it is unto that fire all the fruits of karma are offered. When the doership, the ego is removed, when the thought I am the doer does not arise, and when every action is performed without any motivation, naturally the result will not affect the individual. Whatever he does merges into the deepest realm of his personality. In fact, into the impersonal, the self, Brahman. I am just reading from our own commentary from Bhagavad Gita. Those who need it, it is there. Available book must be there. So, Daiva Yajna is the worship of God in some form or some bhava outside. That is also sacred. This is seen in all religions. There are many devatas mentioned in the Vedas. Indra, Varuna, Yama, Agni, Vishnu, Rudra. They are all named after their nature. The yajnas that invoke these devatas are called Daiva yajnas. Later these yajnas took the form of Deva Puja. Deva Puja. The deities that were worshipped during the Vedic times changed forms to become the deities Shiva, Vishnu and Devi that are worshipped by the majority during our times. These are all Devas. So, Yajnam Yajnenaiva Upajuhvati. Yajna is being invoked by the grace of Yajna. So this sacrifice is great puja. By sacrifice you worship Bhagavan. Nirastashesha Vishesham Brahma Shabdena Uchyate. Brahmacha tat agnischa tasmin brahmagnau brahmavidaha juhvanti. The second type of upasakas, Shankaracharya says, Sopadikasya atmanaha nirupadhikatvena parabrahma rupenaiva yad darshanam satasmin homaha. All of you are seen with sopadhi. The body is there, mind is there, this form, that form. When this difference, Veda Buddhi is there, it is samsara. When I am able to look at you, this is Bhagavan, this is Bhagavan, this is Bhagavan, form is different. But Tvam Stri, Tvam Pumanasi, Tvam Kumara, Utava Kumari, Tvam Jirno, Dandena Vanchasi, Tvam Jato Bhavasi, Vishwato Bukaha. You are woman, you are man, you are old man, you are everything. Neelah patango harito lohitakshaha. The crow, the cuckoo, the parrot, and not only the creatures, ritavaha, samudraha. The season is Brahman, Ishvara. Ocean is Brahman. The yogi is looking at it like that. When that kind of vision happens, entire life is filled with God, divinized. Then the real joy comes. Spiritual joy arises. Then what is the person doing? Like removing the banana skin and taking the fruit, like that, every upadhi is removed and seen only Atma everywhere. So, sopadhikasya atmanaha nirupadhikena parabrahma rupenaiva yad darshanam. That is Homa. Shankaracharya says that is Homa. When you see name and form, you see it is Brahma. Whatever form, it is Brahma. A person is terrible, Ghorebhyo Namaha. A person is very peaceful, Aghorebhya Namaha. Unbearable, Ghoratarebhya Namaha. Very auspicious, Shivaya Namaha. Someone dies very young, someone dies very old, what can we do? Agre vadhaya cha dure vadhaya cha. He kills someone very young, he kills someone very old. It is all divine. Again, I know what you will say, Swami, it is all right philosophically, but practically, this distance between practicality and truth is samsara. How much we can decrease the distance between the so-called practicality and spirituality, it is the measure rod of spiritual progress. You have to remove but. When Guru or Shastra says something, don't bring this Bhattacharya or butter or Bhattatiri. Because of this but, we are having Tiri going round. So no but, no if. Just Shastrasya Guruvakyasya Satyabuddhya Avadharana. When Guru says, Shastra says, they are not telling you to steal, they are not telling you to kill, they are not telling you, give me money. No. They are telling you something which is the greatest beneficial thing for you. Why should you? You have the choice to take it or not. Why don't you trust and attain the highest? So, tam kurvandi brahmatmaikatva darshana nishthaha sannyasinaha ityarthaha. Their Bhashyakara brings in sannyasinaha because when speciality is there, this seeing becomes very difficult. No speciality is sannyasa. No speciality to anyone. True sannyasa means no speciality. Nowhere. Kutrapi no visheshaha. Vishesha buddhi parityagaha, paricheta parityagaha, aparichinnatmanishthāca. So that is why here says upadhi means limitation. Tannai upadhi vittu orvaduthan ishan tannai unarvadam untipara. Tanai unirvadal untipara. As Bhagavan Ramana says in Upadesha Undiyar, Tannai upadhi vittu orvad. One's own existence, one recognizes oneself devoid of upadhi. Sarvopadhi vinirmukta chaitanyaya namo namaha. In Lalita Ashtottara Shatanama, one nama is Sarvopadhi vinirmukta chaitanyam. Soyam samyak darshana lakshanaha yajnaha daiva yajnadishu yajneshu upachipyate brahmarpanam ityadi shloke prastutah shreyan dravyamayad yajnad jnana yajnah parantaba ityadina stutyartam. Now we are continuing the same spiritual practice. We will see it tomorrow evening. One question we have answered. Another question is very, very basic question, which they should have got the meaning if they have listened. Like Atma exists in Chetana and Achetana. When a baby is in mother's womb, Atma exists, but baby is not born. At moment when baby born, Atma exists. These things are all very, very basic questions. If you have listened to this yajna, this Satsanga, this should be very clear. Because this is basic thing. If they are here, they should have got it. Otherwise, they can ask it later on. This is not about sadhana. This is about inquisitiveness. What happens after death, all these things. As Upanishad, Nachiketa also asked, Eyam prete vichikitsa manushye. After death, what happens? What lives? That is the question that is being asked here also. What is that one which lives? That we will speak about it if necessary. We have already spoken about it in Pasamsi jirnani yatha vihaya navani grinhati naroparani. In that shloka, you can see explanation. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala.
जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम जयाद्य वैद्य गीते विषाद रोग भाजे प्रदत्त सर्वतापहारि दिव्य भेषजे जयाद्य वैद्य गीते विषाद रोग भाजे प्रदत्त सर्वतापहारि दिव्य भेषजे वेद केदार जैसी भेद खेदादि रोग नाशनेत्यंत शक्त मुक्ति भेषजा वेद केदार जैसी भेद खेदादि रोग नाशनेत्यंत शक्त मुक्ति भेषजा जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम त्वमेव माधवोक्त समस्त भेदहन्त्री सांख्य कर्म भक्ति योग मुक्ति वारिधे सततमात्मसंस्थं कलयमानसं त्वं विहाय सर्वचिन्तामिति प्रगायसि जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम स्वल्पमप्यधीता निखिल मोहजेत्री सकल दुःख जालतूल सबलवातुला त्वदीय दिव्यवाणी सतत परिनिषेवां देवी दीयतां नो ब्रह्मवादिनी जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम अशेष वेदसारं सखा परात्मतत्त्वं समर विमुख चित्तं सखायमब्रवीत् त्वमेव साति गुह्या निरस्त मोह शोका पुनश्च बादरायणेन गीतवैभवा जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम प्रपद्यमामनन्यं विमुञ्च सर्वधर्मान् अशेष पापमुक्ततां त्वमाशु गच्छसि अवाप्नुयाश्च शान्तिं स्थितिं च शाश्वतीं त्वाम् इति प्रगर्जयन्तीं भजामि मातरम् जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम जय भगवद्गीते कृष्ण हृदय जाते जय जय हरि गीते जननि वंदनम जय जय हरिगीते जननि वन्दनम्